Blessed greetings. Happy Sunday, friend. This is Pastor Vince Wilson, and you are listening to the WSLM Radio Ministry Podcast, the voice of Sacrificial Lamb Ministries. It is Sunday, April 28th, 2024, and I just wanted to share this excerpt with you from Ellen G. White. You may or may not know that during our program, Eyes on Prophecy, we are currently studying the Mark of the Beast, which is based primarily on Revelation chapter 13. And I just want to share this excerpt with you from Ellen G. White, coming from The Great Controversy concerning Revelation chapter 13, specifically the beast power and its image. We've been discussing this beast power. We've been discussing the Antichrist, the image, and so forth. But let me just read for you Revelation 13, verses 16 through 18, and then I'll read the excerpt or the quote from Ellen G. White. Revelation 13, verses 16 through 18 read from the New King James Bible. He causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hand or on their foreheads. And we discussed yesterday during Eyes on Prophecy that this mark is not a literal chip or anything of that nature in the hand or in the forehead, and I explained to you what that mark is. If you have not listened to that episode from yesterday on Sabbath morning during Eyes on Prophecy, you can listen to that episode from yesterday, April 27th, where we discussed what that mark really is, what it means, and so forth. So I'm not going to get into that here. But the Bible says, once again, I'll read Revelation 13, 16 through 18. He causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hand or on their foreheads. Verse 17, and that no one may buy or sell except one who has the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Verse 18, here is wisdom. Let him who has understanding calculate the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man. His number is 666. So now here is the quote from Ellen G. White from The Great Controversy, pages 443 and 444. This is called The Beast Power and Its Image. She says, but what is the image of the beast, and how is it formed? When the early church became corrupted by departing from the simplicity of the gospel and accepting heathen rites and customs, she lost the spirit and power of God. And in order to control the consciences of the people, she sought the support of the secular power. The result was the papacy, a church that controlled the power of the state and employed it to further her own ends, especially for the punishment of heresy. In order for the United States to form an image of the beast, the religious power must so control the civil government that the authority of the state will also be employed by the church to accomplish her own ends. Whenever the church has obtained secular power, she has employed it to punish dissent from her doctrines. Protestant churches that have followed in the steps of Rome by forming alliance with worldly powers, have manifested a similar desire to restrict liberty of conscience. An example of this is given in the long continued persecution of dissenters by the Church of England. During the 16th and 17th centuries, thousands of nonconformist ministers were forced to flee from their churches, and many, both of pastors and people, were subjected to fine, imprisonment, torture, and martyrdom. It was apostasy that led the early church to seek the aid of the civil government, and this prepared the way for the development of the papacy, the beast. Said Paul, there shall come a falling away, and that man of sin be revealed. 2 Thessalonians 2, verse 3. So apostasy in the church will prepare the way for the image of the beast. The Bible declares that before the coming of the Lord, there will exist a state of religious declension similar to that in the first centuries. In the last days, perilous times shall come, for men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, without natural affection, truce breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good, traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasures more than lovers of God, having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof. That's 2 Timothy 3, 1-5. Now the Spirit speaketh expressly, that in the latter times some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils. 1 Timothy 4:1. Satan will work with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness, and all that receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved, will be left to accept strong delusion, that they should believe a lie. 2 Thessalonians 2, 9-11. When this state of ungodliness shall be reached, the same results will follow as in the first centuries. Again, this comes from Great Controversy, pages 443, 444 by Ellen G. White, concerning Revelation 13, 16-18, the beast power and its image. I invite you to join us every Sabbath morning, which is every Saturday morning at 7 o'clock Eastern Time, right here on the podcast for Eyes on Prophecy. We just had an episode yesterday, which was Sabbath morning. We just met yesterday morning on the 27th of April, which was part 6 of our study. I invite you to join us for future studies on the Mark of the Beast right here during Eyes on Prophecy on the podcast. So until we meet next time, be blessed and have a great week.